When it comes to playmats for Magic the Gathering, Pokémon, and other gaming, few other items have such a synthesis of form and function. Finding the playmat that both properly protects your cards and gaming items, while also reflecting your individual style and taste, can oftentimes be an arduous task. That's why this video will compare and contrast the leather playmat from Wormwood, the premium art mats from Max Protection, the custom game mats of Gamer Mats, the Lands series of mats by Ultimate Guard, and finally the inked double mat, a 2-player mat by Inked Gaming. But with so many choices, some are better than others, sometimes by a lot. Let's take a look! Let's begin with the Wormwood leather gaming mat. Known primarily for their woodwork and craftsman deck boxes, Wormwood Gaming offers a premium leather playmat for those seeking an alternative to the classic cloth and neoprene-based playmats of most other companies. While I am usually a major fan of handmade items and non-plastic materials, I'm afraid there's some major problems with this mat. Why don't we take a test? Can you guess what the problem is with this mat without my having to point it out? In addition to the curling problems, there's some other mistakes on Wormwood's part. Now, for a piece of leather this size and quality, $50 is actually the correct price. One of the additional problems, however, is that this is not pebbled leather. Pebbling creates small pockets along the surface, which allow for a better glide of your cards, a smoother feel, and overall user experience. In addition, this should be a broken-in leather, possibly along the lines of a glove leather. But as it currently stands, the mat is overly rigid. It does not have a good surface feel when sliding your cards along it, and quite frankly, overall this is simply unappealing visually. Now, with a lot of care and effort, you can get it to lay more flat than the footage that you just saw. I've spent a significant amount of time rolling this up both directions to try and work in the leather myself. I gave it many days rolled up with the bottom facing outside and many days with the surface facing outside, both ways, rolled up in the mat, back and forth. I put a lot of heavy books on it, and now as you can see, take a look here, we can get it so that it is laying significantly more flat. And I bet with a lot of time, probably I think I'm having much more success with the surface rolled up and facing outside. So if you do own one of these and you are having that problem, I would highly recommend that, as well as the flat books, kind of working in the leather yourself. But I'm still very dissatisfied with the ability for this to lay flat, even on the horizontal lengths, which are now laying flat. There is a kind of wavy warp effect. I think that the surface of this is very visually unappealing. There's a lot of wear in it that is not aesthetically pleasing. And all in all, I think that this can be improved upon significantly. So yes, with a lot of work on your part, you can manage to get this playmat to lie flat. Although, of course, the second you want to transport it somewhere, you have to roll it up again. But I don't have a lot of confidence about its ability to stay flat. And let's be honest, the person who would spring for a $50 leather playmat is someone who wants to communicate luxury, to show off. This is the thing you want to roll out before the game to make the opponent say ooh and ah. So while the idea of a leather playmat is not inherently flawed, the production by Wormwood here is. The grade is ultimately a D+, and that D means do not buy. I cannot imagine many players being satisfied with this mat, and ultimately I cannot recommend it. Max Protection's line of premium image playmats, fortunately, are the traditional cloth and neoprene that the vast majority of playmats consist of. Measuring 24 by 14, this is a classic-sized thin mat at about 1/16 of an inch thickness. A wide variety of images are available, such as this Let Sleeping Dragons Lie artwork. While the cloth top is satisfactory, the bottom pad is subpar. This mat I am showing you here has only seen light play by me, yet notice you can already see signs of degradation and discoloration. This indicates the quality of the rubber neoprene backs is less less than ideal. While the mat can serve its function to provide a clean space for you to play your cards on, long-term durability is going to be a problem. Still, price point is nice at only $14.99, and overall I'd say that this line of mats is only just a little less than satisfactory. Grade C-. Hey, at least it lies flat, right? Gamer Mats, which offer custom printing for individuals and businesses alike, has two distinct styles to choose from. Displayed here is Gamer Mats featuring the artwork of MTG artist Peter Moorbacher. And if you'd like this artwork, it's available only through Moorbacher's website, which I'll list in this video's description. The mats measure 24 by 13.5, and these are classic-sized thick mats at 2mm thickness. High-quality printing and inks of the imagery, and the only major problem is possibly related to the thickness, which is a subtle fraying of the borders over time. But this is incredibly incidental, and even with extended and heavy play, the fraying remains extremely minimal if it happens at all. Still, it is worth noting. In addition to the standard playmats, there is a premium stitched border option which looks simply stunning, especially here with Moorbacher's artwork. Now, when I first saw this stitched border playmat, I worried about cards catching along the edges. After all, I've reviewed several other playmats with stitched borders that had major issues. But to my surprise and delight, the cards simply do not catch. So fortunately, the stitching does not interfere with your cards. As you can see here, I'm going to go really fast. On the stitched playmats, look at this. Boom. On the stitched playmats in my previous playmat review video, just lightly going towards the edge would cause the sleeve to catch. And here, it doesn't obstruct the card whatsoever. I feel very confident that your sleeves are not going to catch on this stitching. I'm really impressed, and I have to say that aesthetically, it creates a gorgeous frame, and because it's stitched, it prevents any fraying, the sort of fraying that we did see just a little bit of with the unstitched mat. I am a big fan of this premium stitched variety, as well, of course, of this Peter Moorbacher artwork. Again, if you are interested in artwork such as Moorbacher's, shown here, you can purchase them only from his site, which is listed in this video's description. For other custom playmat work by Gamer Mats, one custom mat will cost $29.99, although buying in bulk for a store or organization can reduce that cost. Grade, A- on the standard mats, and I feel this is a solid A on the stitched border ones. I've really taken a big liking to them. The new Lands series of playmats from Ultimate Guard offer more than just stunning imagery in the 5-mana colors of white, blue, black, red, and green. The soft cushioned yet still 2mm thick playmat creates an incredible surface to experience during gameplay. Vivid colors and tones, the inking here is just sublime. But what especially impresses me about the Ultimate Guard mats is their use of natural rubber for the back. Natural rubber uses fewer hydrocarbons, which themselves are carcinogenic. This use of natural rubber is due in no small part to the company being based in Germany, and thus strict EU regulations result in a mat that is not just a higher quality, but better in terms of its environmental impact, and that's worth something. That combination of thickness and soft cushioning also provides a great dice rolling effect. Extremely durable. The Land mats by Ultimate Guard are excellent in both form and function, and a solid A. Next up is a mat that may not be needed by most players, but for those seeking such a thing, they will be glad to have found it. And that's the Inked Double, a 2-player mat from Inked Gaming. Like all of Inked Gaming's mats, these can be purchased from individual artists, or you can use your own custom designs and artwork. The mat I am showing off here is the 2-player match mat by Flinks, a design that I am rather fond of. The size is 28 by 24 inches, which accommodates 2 players. Thickness is 1/16 of an inch, which is what I describe as thin. Vibrant colors, machine washable, and of course, the classic cloth top with rubber bottom for traction. Interestingly, price on some of the custom mats is different than various artists, as this mat cost me $39.95 from Flinks, yet to purchase my own custom from Inked would be $44.95. So maybe cheaper to browse some of the shops? Either way, these are ideal for people with gaming rooms, clubs, or organizations, or just the player that wants every option available to them. Same excellent quality as regular Inked gaming mats, made in the USA with options designed to suit you and your needs. The grade here is a solid A. I hope very much this video has been of some help to you. You can help me out by remembering to like, share, subscribe, or just by leaving a comment. Want to see how these grades and accessories stand up against the others that I've reviewed? Head on over to TolarianCommunityCollege.com for a grade roster of every single product I've ever reviewed with the appropriate grade and link to the corresponding video. TolarianCommunityCollege.com. And this video, like all of my videos, is made possible only because of the support of our patron alums over at Patreon. Your generous donations are what keep this channel going and growing strong, so thank you.